Yo, it's time to subscribe to Paid to Be Famous. What are you doing?
Subscribe to Paid to Be Famous.
Subscribe to Paid to Be Famous. Like the video. Come on.
Hell
you know
yeah.
the drill.
Button.
And slap that like button.
In today's Destiny 2 video, we're going to be going over some of the best stasis weapons to use in the upcoming episode Revenant Act 1. Why do you want to be using stasis weapons? Well, Bungie has revealed some of the artifact perks that are going to become available, and they heavily rely on stasis, specifically slowing and freezing targets. Specifically in the first row, we have one with Frost. While Frost armor is active, stasis weapons gain increased reload speed and stability. Stasis swords gain increased guard resistance. And we also have Wind Chill. Rapid stasis weapon precision hits grant you a stack of Frost armor. Rapid precision hits from weapons with Dark Ether Reaper origin trait grant you more stacks of Frost armor. And it also has a boost, dealing stasis weapon damage to slow targets, has a chance to spawn a stasis shard. Then we have Armor of Aramis. While Frost armor is active, taking critical damage from combatants causes you to emit a freezing burst. This also has a boost, increase radius and strength of this freezing burst. And then we also have Brain Freeze in the first row. It says frozen combatants become surrounded by chilling fog, which slows combatants that aren't already. Weapons with the Dark Ether Reaper origin trait deal more damage to frozen combatants. Then in the second row, we have Crystalline Converter. Gather stasis shards to gain stacks of Crystalline Converter. Your next powered stasis melee hit creates stasis crystals equal to the number of stacks you have. This also has a boost. Stasis weapon final blows after activating your class ability spawn a stasis shard. Then we have Crystallized Autoloader. Shattering stasis crystals releases shards of ice that damage and slow targets. And the boost for this says that shattering frozen targets and stasis crystals deals increased damage. Then in the fourth row, we have Severed Cold. Picking up a stasis shard grants you class ability energy. So as you can see, a lot of stasis going on. So first up, I want to talk about the Salvation's Grip exotic grenade launcher. This goes in the heavy slot. And to get this weapon, you need to do the stasis prototype quest, which I believe comes from the Beyond Light campaign. You're going to need to pick up that campaign if you want this. This recently got a rework, so the longer you hold down the trigger, the bigger and more stasis crystals you create. The exotic perk Cryo Cannon, hold to charge, release to fire. This weapon's charged projectiles create a pattern of stasis crystals on impact and freeze nearby targets. And then you have the exotic trait perk Shatter Shot. This weapon's uncharged projectiles deal bonus damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets, rapidly destroying multiple stasis crystals. Reloads this weapon from reserves. Seeing as how everything is about stasis next season, and we also have grenade launcher artifact mods, Salvation's Grip is going from 0 to hero. I'm calling it right now. Definitely consider using this in the episode Revenant. Now next up, I want to talk about another grenade launcher, the Lingering Dread, a legendary kinetic grenade launcher, and it does stasis damage. This one's a little bit trickier to get because you have to go into the dungeon, specifically the Duality dungeon, and it does come with random rolls, so you might be searching for quite a while before you get the roll you want. And speaking of the roll you want, you pretty much want to go for auto-loading holster and chill clip. Chill Clip is going to allow direct hits from the top half of the magazine to slow and freeze targets. And then auto-loading holster is going to allow you to just not have to reload. You can just put this weapon away and whip it back out and you're ready for another shot. Or you could go with something like Ambitious Assassin to get more in the magazine. And believe it or not, Unrelenting is actually a pretty good perk. When you rapidly defeat targets, it will trigger health regeneration and help keep you alive. Definitely consider getting into the Duality dungeon to get your hands on the Lingering Dread with Chill Clip. Up next, we're talking about the Prophet Adept legendary kinetic stasis scout rifle. We are getting anti-barrier scout rifles next season, and you can get the Adept version of this scout rifle, so you can put those Adept mods on there. Not only that, but it comes with some great perks. Most notably, in that last column, you can get Headstone. Pretty much every stasis weapon that I mentioned in this video that can roll Headstone is pretty much what you want to go for, because that's going to create that crystal that's going to slow those targets, triggering everything that benefits from the artifact. But it also does have a lot of other good perks like Enlightened Action, Rapid Hit, Explosive Payload, Precision Instrument, Kill Clip. All around, this thing is pretty stacked, and it's really good in PvP. The only downside to this is that if you want the Adept version, you gotta get that crispy Flawless in Trials of Osiris. But if you're a PvP god, that shouldn't be too much of an issue for you. Up next, we're talking about another scout rifle, the Wicked Implement Exotic Kinetic Scout Rifle. This one you got to get from Season of the Deep. There's like a secret mission that you got to do, or I think this may be available from the kiosk at the tower. I'm not quite sure. Let me know down in the comments if you can get it at the kiosk. But this scout rifle comes with the exotic perk Creeping Attrition. Rapidly landing precision hits causes targets to become slowed, and it also comes with Tithing Harvest. While Creeping Attrition is active, destroying stasis crystals or landing precision final blows creates a stasis shard. The stasis shard returns to you, and collecting stasis shards refills the magazine. There's a lot of artifact perks that have to do with creating and collecting shards, so using this scout rifle is just another way to do that. This scout rifle has never really been meta, but I have a feeling that it's gonna rise to the top of the meta as soon as episode Revenant starts. Definitely get your hands on this and try it out. Next up on our list, we have the Ager Scepter Exotic Stasis Trace Rifle. One of my favorite trace rifles in the game. Pretty decent single target damage, and this can freeze entire rooms of ads. Very easy to get your hands on this. This definitely comes from the kiosk over at the tower. Comes with the exotic perk Ager's Call. Final blows with this weapon generate a slowing burst around the defeated target, and it also has Riga's Refrain. Stasis final blows transfer ammo to the weapon's magazine from reserves. This trace rifle is going to synergize with the artifact mods very well, and even without any of the artifact mods, this is one of the best weapons in the game to be freezing and slowing targets. Definitely head to the kiosk at the tower and pick this one up. Moving on from there, we have the Undying Tempest, a legendary stasis submachine gun. This weapon is very easy to acquire. All you got to do is turn in engrams, and you can actually focus it over at shacks. Very easy to get, but it does come with a ton of perks, 12 in each column. But it does come with that crispy headstone, so you can slow and freeze targets. And you can also pair that with Demolitionist, so you can get that stasis grenade up, which will allow you to slow and freeze targets even more. Pick up the Unending Tempest SMG, you will not be disappointed. And if you guys are enjoying the video so far, don't forget to drop a like on it. I would really appreciate that. Now up next, we gotta talk about one of my favorite hand cannons in the game, the Ice Luna Legendary Stasis Hand Cannon. Another one that's a bit trickier to get because it only drops from a dungeon, and that dungeon is the Grasp of Avarice. And once again, this isn't craftable. It only drops with random rolls, so you might be searching for a while to get the roll that you want. And of course, this does come with headstone in that last column, which is definitely what you guys are going to want to go for. And you can get Rapid Hit or Outlaw in that third column for those faster reloads. But I would highly suggest going with Unrelenting. Unrelenting Headstone is one of my favorite perk combinations in the game for PvE, because once you create that crystal with a precision hit from Headstone, you can actually proc the Unrelenting perk just by shattering the crystal, and you'll get that health regeneration to trigger, which is really nice. So definitely check your vault. Maybe you already have this with Headstone. If not, launch up that Fireteam Finder, get into Grasp of Avarice, and get yourself a Luna with Headstone. Now moving on from there, we're talking about the Fire and Forget Legendary Stasis Linear Fusion Rifle. The only way to get this is by doing Season of the Seraph activities, so I do believe you have to wait for the exotic mission to roll around. Now the reason I'm suggesting this Linear Fusion Rifle is because it can actually roll Headstone and Chill Clip, and they're both in separate columns, so you can get the combination of Headstone Chill Clip together for double the frozen combatants and double the slowing. Typically, I don't know why you'd be killing ads and proccing headstones, but if you do, you'll get that crystal, and then when you're shooting a boss, you'll be able to slow and freeze the boss. All around, this is just a pretty unique linear fusion rifle that's going to go very well with the artifact mods in episode Revenant. Definitely consider trying this one out. Now, last up on our list, I wanted to mention the Quills Terminus Legendary Stasis Machine Gun. You are going to have to jump into the King's Fall raid, but you can get the Adept version of this, so you can use the Adept mods on it. And of course, it comes with that crispy headstone in the last column, and you can pair it with my other favorite perk, Unrelenting, to trigger that health regeneration whenever you get multi-kills or you shatter a crystal by chance. Machine guns are very good at ad clear, and especially good when you have headstone on them. So I just wanted to mention the Quillums on this list because you can get the Adept version, which is really nice. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the list. If I missed a weapon that you guys think should have been on this list, let me know down in the comments, because there's probably a lot more stasis weapons that I didn't go over that are going to be absolutely goated in episode Revenant Act 1. If you guys are new here, need more Destiny 2 in your life, subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you found this helpful, follow me over on Twitch, and I'll catch you guys around the channel.